All right. How about now, Anderson? How about now? Check 1, 2. Check mic, check mic. Successfully connected. Do I have volume? Can anyone hear me? What's up, Jake? We're good now, Anderson. Oh, thank you. I would have done the whole show without turning my volume on. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Welcome, welcome. So those of you who are watching it later, there is going to be sound, I promise. All right, thanks, Anderson. Again, appreciate it. All right, what I was talking about was someone in the comments left a message about the recreation of Ton Tavern, November 10, 2025. I think she said it was going to be 25. Obviously, it can't be, well, no. I mean, it could be this year. But does anyone know anything about that? And more importantly, who's going? How great would that be? Philly. Is it a bar? I know now it's there is just a little plaque. I haven't been there, but that's what I've seen in photos. So what did they build, or what are they opening up on November 10th, 2025? Did it cut out again? No. So if you know, let me know. Again, welcome everybody. Another Wednesday night, SFMF Live. A few different things I want to talk about. Are you changing that out right now? Production team, hard at work. John McJunkin, present. Hey, brother, good to see you. This production team doing things right now as we're live.
How are we going to know
I
beforehand?
think she likes doing it when we're live. And she likes to put the camera. Desert Storm, Jake? Yes, were you there? With who? What task force were you with in Desert Storm, Jake? Jake Austin. Jake Awesome from Texas. Audio has been fixed.
Thank you, Anderson.
Thanks. Much better volume, no static. I'm looking for a good production team. Anybody out there wants to?
Any volunteers?
Yeah, volunteer. You got to volunteer. Sounds good in Arizona. What's up, Jared? Good to see you. Could you put my drink any farther away? Jake is 18, though I thought you were talking about a monument that was being built. I haven't served. Not yet, Jake. What are you going to do? What are you going to do if you're 18? You're the perfect age. Let's go. What are you going to do, brother? Did you graduate high school this year, or are you a senior? And a monument, again, the monument I'm talking about is somebody put it in the comments that they're putting something at Ton Tavern, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on November 10th. Now I can't remember if the comment was for this coming November or next year, 2025. It would kind of make more sense if it was 2025. Yep. Oh, perfect. Seriously. Call the base, ask for the audio visual services. Is that for this? For our show, John? Is that what you're talking about? Jake. David Bryant, good to see you too, brother. God bless you. Dave Bryant. Jake says, I'm thinking about eventually calling a recruiter. Well, you're in a perfect spot, Jake. And let's hear what kind of questions you have. We've done a couple of shorts recently about when is the best time to join. What do I bring to boot camp? Should I join? I don't know if have I done one yet about what branch of service should you join. What we are going to talk about later is the job you choose, because I say this multiple times. You join the Marine Corps to be a Marine. Your job is secondary. Every Marine and Rifleman, those are all posts that we've done, and those are all Marine things that we all know and we all hear every day and heard throughout our career. Now your family was offering it. Your family was offering the job to others. Call the base. That's what John's saying. Go ahead and look it up on base. He keeps putting my drink far away too. Get some Marines over here to help me. So, Jake, think of a question that maybe we haven't even answered it yet. And have you been on the channel for a while? And have you been watching the shorts, asking the questions? There we go, Anderson. Marine Corps Times article from April 2024 states that Tun Tavern Legacy Foundation brought land to construction a realistic replica of the tavern. So it's not a real tavern. You can't actually go in it and have a beer. Still very cool. Better than the plaque, the small plaque I'm guessing that's there now. So it'd be awesome to see something. Jake says, I got a lot of meds and a lot of stuff that I need to be off for a year to join. That's right. And you're kind of just reconfirming what we've heard and we've talked about on the show before. You have to be off meds for 1 year. So hopefully that all works out. But still, talk to the recruiters, Jake. Get it from their mouth. Talk to all the branches of service too before you join the Marine Corps. But find out exactly what you need to do and start preparing now, and by staying in this community right here. Jared says, I got out of boot as a PFC, accepted 15 college credit, pre-education prior to enlistment. Good on you, Jared. Did you know that? Because that's a great way to start right off the bat. 1 contract PFC and your some college education already. Joe Castilla says, don't know if you remember, but I have, wow, it's tomorrow. I just saw the testicular cancer appointment tomorrow. Keep us posted, Rob. We're praying for you. Hope all turns out well. Wow. And I missed the rest of the comment. It went up. Joshua says, I'm 17. How do I convince my mom to sign for me? Great question. Joshua, I did the same thing. Signed at 17. Took my parents a good 6 or 8 months to sign. So the more your mom knows, the better. And is it the Marine Corps? Have you already talked to the recruiter? So here's the thing. And every parent is different. And I am now a parent of a Marine also. It's been some years now, but it was easy for me because I knew what she was getting herself into. So if your mom doesn't know anything about the Marine Corps, put her on this channel. Let her see the community, see the love that we build amongst each other. Let her know. I mean, she'll be able to decide for herself. In fact, go get her right now and have her watch with you and let her ask questions, because the biggest fear is the unknown. So if she can see what kind of community that this is, and these are the kinds of people that you're going to be surrounded by, I think it'll make her feel a whole lot more comfortable. Because it's scary, right, for a parent to let their children join the Marine Corps, the toughest of all branches. Oh my God, they're going to go to war and die. No, it's not always like that. Is that a possibility? Absolutely. All the services, anything you do in life. But if she were to know more and be able to, again, ask questions here on this channel and talk to like-minded people, might help her out a whole lot into deciding, help you decide. So great question, brother. Appreciate that. And what are you thinking? Are you thinking the Marine Corps? And then what job? We're going to talk about that very shortly. What job should you choose when you enlist in the Marine Corps? Hiram, my injuries seem to have healed, but still need a lot of exercise. We all do, brother. We all need a lot of exercise. And crazy, I'm going to dime myself out, but I haven't had my exercise for today yet. I was on a Zoom call all morning. Some great information, some great leadership stuff. But I haven't PT'd yet, but I am still going to. It's harder when you're traveling, but I definitely am going to.
Grand reopening for Tun Taverns
Next year? The grand reopening is next year? And that's what somebody said, they're going to build a replica. Anderson's...
You can go inside and eat and dine inside.
Oh, can you? Oh. Wait, let me read this. Anderson said, if you have parents who are first generation here in the U.S., they may have impressions of the military from their home country, which may be positive or negative, that the recruiter must address. Very good point, Anderson. That's why. What does your mom know about the U.S. military in general, or just the military and the Marine Corps specifically? John says, Cadet Morales asks, is this a niece or a nephew? Sergeant Major, do Enlisted Marines get to let a parent live with them. My mom has nobody to take care of her but me. So dependent status. Obviously, you think of dependents. I don't know, obviously, maybe or not. I do. When I think of somebody having dependents, that's their spouse and children. But you can also have your parents as dependents. Don't ask me the details on how to do it, but you just apply for it. And I have known Marines that have had their parents come live with them. This is, of course, after training. So after boot camp, after MCT or SOI, after your MOS school, you get to your first duty station. I'm sure you can apply for it much sooner than that. But if you're claiming your parent as your dependent, yes, they do. They live with you. They are your dependent. So obviously there's paperwork that goes along with it. You see your admin chief, find out what you need to do, what paperwork you have to fill out. But yes, that happens often. I've seen it personally.
Do you remember the family on Manana that used to live down the street? His dad lived with him.
Yeah, that's right. One of our neighbors, my producer's telling me, one of our neighbors, their father, the father-in-law, yeah.
Maybe it was his dad.
Oh, maybe it's the father.
I don't think he was married.
But he claimed him as his dependent. He lived with them right there in the house with them. So absolutely. How does reenlistment bonus actually work? John McJunkin, you got some great questions. I know how they work. However, of all my reenlistments, 0. I never got a bonus for any of my reenlistments. I just missed it, timing-wise. When the bonuses were big and everyone was getting them, I had just reenlisted. So the details on how they work, get with your career planner. They can tell you, project what they're going to be. I remember the biggest bonuses I saw in the Marine Corps for reenlistment was during our Iraqi tour, 2005-06. Coming back from there, for the 03 field anyway, up to $80,000. The average was $20, $30, $40, $50,000 bonuses at that time, around 2005 or 6 when I was with 5th Marines, 2-5, Retreat Hell, era. Those are some of the biggest bonuses I've ever seen, and Marines were getting them. Corporals and sergeants, that's who the Marine Corps was really hurting for, because a lot of Marines were getting out. They had multiple deployments. They were done, 2, 3, 4 deployments. They were done. Too many Marines were getting out, so they're offering these huge bonuses. But how does it work specifically? My MOS, again, I never received one. There have been bonuses in the 1371 field, but again, timing-wise, it just never worked out. So it has to, their career planner can project maybe when they're going to be and how much fluctuates. I'm telling you, that 2-3 years when I was with 5th Marines, it did fluctuate quite a bit. But when they offer it, take it, 100%. What they were doing, re-enlisting in country, when you're in a combat zone, the bonus is tax-free. So you actually get the whole bonus. So it worked out very well for a lot of Marines during that time frame. But they're there. Depend on the MOS and, of course, the needs of the Corps. Jared says they offered me $8,000 for 8 more years. You took it, right? $8,000, not like 80 or 50. That's much more than I would have ever gotten. 6K, gunnery sergeant, USMC retired. 6K. So they happen. Again, depend on the needs of the Corps at the time. Another one from John. Can I use my reenlistment bonus money to use for my social media platform? That's your money. Reenlistment bonus is your money. You do with it whatever you want. 100%. If you don't have something that invest it, save it. We talked a little bit about savings, stuff that they still don't teach in school enough of, but savings account. Even better than savings account, investments. Savings accounts, the money grows so slow, it's almost not worth it. Pendragon, good to see you, brother. Received a rare stop loss letter signed by my skipper, captain. Stop loss happened, first time I saw that, Desert Storm. Was it the same time frame, Pendragon? We had a lot of involuntarily extended Marines. But again, the needs of the Corps or the service, depending on what's going on, you can get a stop-loss letter where you receive nothing and you're still in. JTB, afternoon, brother, good to see you. Jake says, do I get paid when I join? Yes, Jake, good question. So the day you step on the yellow footprints, you're getting paid. You're not going to get your whole paycheck until after you graduate boot camp. They're going to give you the credit cards now, right? Those you active duty or recently came in. When I went to boot camp, we used chits, right? They had paper chits that they would issue to us, and it seemed like it was free money, like Monopoly money, but it's not. We didn't know. I didn't know anyway. It was coming out of your paycheck, so you get paid as soon as you get there. And when we went to the PX and purchased hygiene gear, which was a post I just did, a short, hygiene gear, haircuts, we had to pay for all that extra if we bought another pair of socks, towels, hygiene kit, whatever you bought from the limited supply. You're not going to the big PX. You're going to the Recruit PX where you're purchasing only things that you need. But that comes right out of your pocket. So yes, they were chits. Then when I was a drill instructor, they actually used cash. They had money. And then now I know they use credit card system. And I don't know any more about it than that, but they're not walking around with cash. JTB remembers those chits, remember that? Jared Gunny, what year did you get that bonus? He's asking the Gunny. Ron Miller, good evening to you, brother. Feliciano Ortiz, hurrah. You joined the fight, now get paid, hurrah. I like it. You get paid. You get paid a lot of money, and our retirement is great. Money sucks. Yes, don't lose your money sock. If I enlist in the Marines after I go to college, can I go through enlisted boot camp or must I go through officer candidate school? So you college boys and girls, college graduates, can you still enlist in the Marine Corps with a college degree? Yes, you can. Some people call you crazy because you have that college degree. You should go to OCS and become an officer. That's a personal choice. That college degree, it'll help you whenever you want to use it later on if you want to commission. From enlisted, green to gold. Tons of programs to go from enlisted to officer. That's when you can use your degree. But those of you that are planning to go to college, I'd never tell anybody not to go. Some places hold that college degree in high regard. Personally, do I think it makes you a better person? No. Common sense. Experience. A lot of things make you a good person. Same with a Marine. Is a college degree make you that much better of a Marine? No. What that shows people is your commitment. So it's good. It's great. But if you want to enlist, enlist. If you want to get your degree first, then enlist, do it. If you want to join, take college classes, let the Marine Corps pay for it, and still get your degree, go for it. Many ways to get your education. In the infantry, the grunts used to always tell me, well, we don't have time, we're in the field too much. You have time. There's 03s out there with master's degrees. So yes, it is possible. It's much harder because yes, we do spend a lot of time in the field or the armory or in combat. So it's not as easy depending on your job, but it definitely is possible. So get your degree, let the government pay for it, use tuition assistance. I didn't take advantage of that when I was active duty. Took 2 classes throughout my career. A ton of military schools that eventually did turn into college credits. So that was great. When I finally did go for my degree, I only needed 15 credits because of all the schools that I volunteered for. Remember, we talked about volunteering. Volunteer for every school you could possibly go to. Some related to my MOS, some didn't. Didn't matter. It gave me those college credits. And then, again, eventually got my degree, but I paid for it out of pocket. So don't do that, whatever you do. Tuition assistance, use that. Save your GI Bill for someone else or something else. Cheers, Feliciano. What career fields do the Marines promote better or faster in? John, I got to get you on payroll, if there was a payroll.
Get in line, John.
Production team said, get in line for that payroll. What career fields promote better and faster? Great question. And I'm going to talk around in circles here for a little bit because it's the needs of the Corps. For the longest time, the second half of my career, the 10 years I was in the infantry, the slowest by far was the 41s, the mortarmen. 03 41s had the slowest promotion. Hard to keep those Marines motivated because how slow the system was. Just, again, the needs of the Corps. So it's way too hard to game that game of I'm only going to enlist in this MOS because they promote the fastest. And it might be up to E5, they promote fast. But after that, you're going to wait a lifetime. So I personally don't think anyone, not even the recruiters, the what do they call in the Marine Corps, not the career planner, the monitors. I don't even think the monitors or headquarters Marine Corps probably can't answer that in a long term. Anything for anyone to hold them to that because it's the needs of the Corps. As people get out, say all of a sudden all the 0341 sergeants all of a sudden all start getting out. Then they'd have to promote all those corporals. So it would be great promotion for the 0341s at that time. So it all depends on where the Marine Corps is at the time of that MOS. So when people say, yes, they promote fast, it's probably because it's a small MOS. Or again, people are getting out. So another way, and that's kind of one of the topics that I do want to talk about tonight is how do you choose your MOS? Electricians had it bad, I'm guessing. OG, good to see you, brother. How do you feel about recruiters who say reserve college benefits are the same National Guard? Do you see the USMC Reserve getting on the same page as Army Reserve and National Guard for tuition assistance? Not sure how the Guard works on tuition assistance. If somebody does know, let us all know. But here's what I always say about reserves. If you're not joining active duty, join the reserves. Join the reserves. Any branch of service, obviously pro-Marine, biased. But the National Guard, any reserves, if you're not going active duty, highly recommend you join the reserves or National Guard, 100%. Because there is opportunity for school and tuition assistance. I can't imagine it's the same as active duty though. There's no way. Jerry said that's why he got out, requested the drill field for 2 years and not no billet. No, you can't re-enlist for a B billet. Went to 1-7, immediately got tired of recon back. The NDOC was pretty tough. Feliciano, recon NDOC it better be tough. It's tough as hell. I went through the NDOC in early 90s in Hawaii the first time. Didn't want to, I was comfortable where I was, but I did it for a challenge and it kicked my butt. Students must be proactive in looking for other scholarships and state benefits, addition to TA, or the GI Bill, post 9/11 GI Bill. I have typos when I speak, Jared. I got you. I got it. I can translate it. School was available back then. You could go take your duties and part-time college. Again, depend on your MOS. Not always are you going to be able to go to school, but definitely online, especially with today's technology. John McJunkin asking for a friend. If I go delayed entry into the Marine Corps, will I need to attend any after-school programs with the recruiter? Another great question. No, you don't have to go to any of them, but I highly recommend going to any function that the recruiters have. Spend as much time in the recruiter's office as you can and just dig for knowledge. I didn't do that in the very beginning. That's my last bit of freedom. I'm going to stay away from that place. Parents already signed, they got me. With the recommendation from my recruiter, kept looking for me, come in for a drill, learn how to march, come in PT. One event I do remember that got me to start going to all of them was just a barbecue. They had a big barbecue for all the recruiting stations in the region. I don't even remember where it was, somewhere around Oakland. And there's hundreds of Poolees just like myself, and families and parents and recruiters and Marines, newly graduated Marines. So we got to speak to them one-on-one, just fresh out of boot camp. But it was just a Poolee function. We played softball and barbecued. Once I saw that camaraderie, that teamwork, that love that all these brothers and sisters had out of nowhere, we didn't know nobody knew anybody. But there was that bond with all the Marine recruiters, I noticed, and we're just playing softball, barbecuing, having a good time, and talking Marine Corps stuff. So you don't have to go to any of them. And I remember when my daughter when she was a Poolee, it wasn't for very long, but she kept telling me, my recruiter said, I have to go, I have to do this, I have to do this. As long as you meet all your requirements, you did your IST, your initial strength test, and you signed all the documents, you don't have to. That's just her recruiter being aggressive and wanting her to know as much about it before she went. The more you know before you go, the better. So to answer your question, no. But tell your friend, your niece or nephew, go to every single function he or she possibly can and learn as much as they can. What exercises would you recommend JROTC cadets to start doing now at 16 to 18 years old to be completely ready for boot camp? 1, get off the couch and move. For starters, start with walking, but you walk every day, so run. Build your endurance up, build your cardio up. We talked about doing run, walk, run, jog, sprint, jog. It's called a fartlek. Those are really good. Do some long distance, just mix it up. The upper body strength, we still do pull out. PFT is still a 3-mile run. 18 minutes is a perfect score. Now it kind of depends on your age, so don't quote me on any numbers, but if you can get 18 minutes, 3 miles, you're good. 17 something, sub 18. That would be awesome. But just run. Get out there and run every single day. It is an exercise you can do every day. So once you do the first couple runs, your legs will be sore for about a week after. Push through that soreness, continue to run. Upper body, pull-ups is the same thing. It works so many muscles, you can do pull-ups every single day. No days off, 1% better every day. You can do now outboard or inboard grip. So practice them both. Find out which one you can do more of. But mass amount of pull-ups. And then we just added the plank. So if you're not familiar with the plank, start doing those. Look it up online, read the rules. You got to be perfectly still. Your body can't sway, no movement. Your arms got to be in a fizz, head and eyeball straight to the front. Whatever the rules is, we did do a video on that. So check the channel. We did a quick video on the new Marine Corps PFT. So those 3 things definitely often. Do them as much as you can. And then whatever else you want, just on your own, just thrash yourself. I did a short on CrossFit or old school weights. Either one, just get out there and push yourself, push your body. Because the better in shape you are, the better off you'll be, the easier. That's one less thing you have to worry about in boot camp. Because you're going to do some PT. Remember in boot camp, though, I've talked about this, you only run 3 miles twice. That's the initial PFT and then the final PFT. All other times you're moving and running everywhere you go. Every time you go to the obstacle course, the confidence course, the slide for life, you're running. Every time you're PTing, you're running. So you don't want to fall out of any of those runs ever. Planks and sit-ups. I feel planks are too easy. So it's 3:45, 3 minutes, 45 seconds for a max score in planks. I'm with you, Jared. I think it's a little easier as well. I think the crunches were good. I'm glad we moved from the sit-ups where your hands were locked behind your head. That was bad on your neck and your spine and all that. But I think, I'm not sure. I don't do planks anymore. I did them to test it out and see what we're moving to. It is a full core body workout, so don't dislike them, but I think it's, I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. Are the planks harder? I think to max it out seems easy. Maybe they'll make it longer for a maximum score or something. Not sure. I could plank forever. So that's what Jared says. I could only do 80 or 90 sit-ups in 2 minutes. Again, I feel the same way. Somebody somewhere at some physical fitness guru decided that that's a better measure of your strength. Either way, but it could be hard for some people. So if you don't do them, if you haven't done them, definitely practice. Be ready for those. Do female Marines still do dead hang? They do not. So they do pull-ups as well. I think the chart is a little different on how they get graded, but females do pull-ups also. And funny you say WMs, because that's another one that still keeps coming up on the nicknames. I'm still getting Lady Marines are what they're called these days. They're called Marines, URAH. And that was a whole change to get away from WM. They're Marines, which got it. Remember we talked about the light green, dark green. Let me know when that comes up.
What?
You asked someone to repeat the question. So the nickname thing it's still coming up, and Marines or people in my comments. Some are Marine because they say we still use top in my unit. There it is, Neander dude.
Engineer dude, yes.
Engineer dude. Sure, I see these platoons pick up videos on YouTube. I always thought it was the best surprise. Do you think they're good or bad for recruiting? I see these platoon pickup videos. Platoon pickup videos. Oh, so the pickup day. Always was best to be surprised. Good point, engineer dude. So, and even on this channel, so I'm switching gears on everybody right now, because that's a great question. The pickup videos. Watch the first day of boot camp. You can watch it you can watch everything online nowadays. Should you watch that video or should you wait and be surprised? I mean, you're gonna watch it now because we're talking about it. It's still, no matter how many, again, boot camp stories you can tell, how many videos you watch, that you're not going to experience the feeling that goes through your body and through your mind until you actually do it. And every experience is going to be a little different. Here's what you got to remember. When they're being filmed, everyone knows they're being filmed, so it's not exactly to a T. There's no Hollywood put into it because it's just somebody filming it and it's on YouTube. So personally, I would want to be surprised. I wouldn't want to know what I was getting myself into. I told you Full Metal Jacket came out a couple months after I went through boot camp and school. So I don't know if that would have changed my mind or not. So wait. I mean, if you have a choice, wait and see what happens. But you're not going to get the full effect till you actually do it. And again, coasts, East Coast, West Coast, PI, San Diego, they're going to be a little different. And your platoon itself, your drill instructors are going to be a little different. Every cycle that I picked up, that pickup week was a little bit different depending on the team of DIs that I was with. So is it good information? Yeah. Is it fun to watch? Because they're always fun to watch. But it's going to be different when you actually go through it. Good point, dude. John McJunkin, when you listen to the Marine Corps, what has been the biggest change that you have noticed in boot camp? Killing it, John, on the questions. Another great one. Here's what I was told the first time I was counseled as a drill instructor. The SOP for recruit training drill instructors hasn't changed in decades. I'm guessing probably 100 years by now. Was it a lot tougher back then? Was there more hands-on? Did they curse at you more? I think that in time has changed a little bit, the actual conduct. But the rules have always been there. You can never curse at a Marine or a recruiter, call them a name or use foul language. You can never manhandle them and punch them and all this. You hear story. When I was in 2 years ago, we used to butt stroke us every night. It's not true. Or if it happened, it only happened once and that drill instructor got relieved. So was it more physical? society was much more physical back then. So when you grabbed a person or a recruit and say, hey, I need you, this is a position of attention, do it now. A little more hands-on? Yes, over the years. It has gotten less, in my opinion. But I was a drill instructor a long time ago, and again, as physical as we got with the recruits, there are 4 times you can handle a recruit. Fix his position in case of emergency, whatever the case is, to defend yourself. The rules haven't changed. Society has changed. So does that make Marines any softer now than 50 years ago? Nope. Still badass Marines. And it's the hardest boot camp. So that I don't think will ever change. Yes, America's going through some weird crap right now, but the Marine Corps is going to hold true as much as possible. As long as Marines, enlisted Marine drill instructors, are still running boot camp like we are. So, rules have changed? Nope, rules are still there. Marines being held accountable? Probably more now than ever before. So you just got to make sure that you're doing everything you're supposed to do. So it's good. 1991. Didn't beat the crap out of us, but they may manhandle us for sure. I enjoyed them banging their smokies on the bridge of your noses. That may have happened. And here's what I'll give you a little secret, a little inside behind the scenes. As by the time I became a senior drill instructor, I would go to the receiving barracks the night before that pickup. That pickup is Black Friday. That's when the thrashing happens. That's that culture shock. You've already been in receiving barracks a couple days, running through the motions, again, shots, medical, dental, forms, the moment of truth that we talked about. That week you're up, it seems like you never sleep. You hob mob to chow, slob mob back from chow. You're not marching, you're just getting uniformed, head shaved. The initial shock. Those 4 days of receiving, 5 days, whatever it is, depending on when you got there, is already culture shock. But the day they drop you to your platoon, pickup day, that's when all hell breaks loose. And that's, again, now you're in your training platoon, training company, training platoon, and that's when you got to start working. So even receiving has changed over the years. Again, receiving barracks, the first initial day, scared the hell out of me. That's when I thought I made the biggest mistake of my life, when they were thrashing me in the receiving barracks, when I had to purchase some tennis shoes that I didn't want to purchase. I didn't realize it wasn't up to me. But that pickup day is, again, as much as you watch it, until you live through it, you're not going to understand exactly what you're going through. But I used to go there as a senior drill instructor to the receiving barracks that night, met my platoon. Hey, I'm your senior drill instructor, Sergeant Cece. Tomorrow is pickup. Be aware, this is before social media, so nobody knew what it was. And I would tell him, hey, but if drill instructor tells you, moves you, I need you to be here. You need me to read that right now? When I enlisted in the Marine Corps, plan on making parents my life insurance beneficiaries, but I plan to get married one day. Can I change my beneficiaries later? Yes. Answer your question. What? You have to speak. You have to tell me. So, yes, you can change your beneficiaries. I'm getting ready to change mine right now. Just kidding. Michael's Drones, RCs, and Knives. Hello, brother. Welcome. Can you tell me what the question was?
No, can you address the cadet that's asking the question?
Yes.
You haven't?
Again,
You keep giving credit to John.
I just need you to communicate with me. JTB is chaotic, and you came at us like the Hulk, of course. Trying to scare the living daylights out of you. David Quinto, I shipped a basic on Sunday. Hurrah, David. Again, you're in the right spot. Ask some questions. We're talking about pickup day right now. What it's like. Again, we can all tell you, but you got to experience it yourself. But just know it's coming. Those chill 3-4 days in receiving, moving around like cattle, those easy 4 days are going to come to an end on pickup day. And that's what I would do. Again, I would go to the receiving barracks and meet my platoon. Say, look, tomorrow all hell's going to break loose, but it's for all the right reasons. We're going to teach you to do everything, how to sit, sleep, eat, train. So just be ready, be prepared. And I would tell them, if you ever, but on the other side, if you ever, somebody ever does call you some foul language directed at you, calling you a name, or they do physically harm you, definitely let me know, because that is not accepted, and nor has it ever been. So it is a quite experience. Yes, the cover that the drill instructors wear, Smokies. Their campaign covers is the real name for it, but the DIs call them Smokies. And the DIs call each other hats. That's a 4-hat team. Look at that hat over there. Hat, that's a drill instructor. 17 years old, scared crapless. That's right, JTB. Noah says, good afternoon, good to see you. URAH. David, love to hear, man. URAH. David, get some, brother. Sunday, it's a couple days from now. You ready? Definitely made the right decision on the branch you chose. URAH. Definitely. All right. I missed a question. Could you ask him to say it again? The one you're talking about? No. Engineers up. So again, good evening, everybody. Wow, that was a big intro. What are you drinking? What are you drinking tonight? Hydrate. PT. I already told I downed myself out today. I haven't PT today, but I'm still going to. I have until midnight every day. No days off. 1% better every day. I think I'm going to do some planks today. Now that we've been talking about them, I do want to do some more. You got to be good. If the Marines do them, they have to be good for you. Look at David. He's going to be a combat engineer. Engineers up. URAH. 2 MOSs in the Marine Corps that start with combat. You already know combat engineer is one. What is the other one? 2 combat MOSs. Obviously a whole lot more combat MOSs, but in the name. David is going to be one of them, a combat engineer. Noah's drinking water. David, hydrate. Start hydrating now. Michael's drones, water. Jared, coffee. I already drank a pot of coffee this morning. David, you already know. Look at you. Combat photographer, or combat camera. URAH. 2 MOSs have combat in front of them. Ray, my brother, good to see you. 1775. URAH. Good to see you. Thanks for coming tonight. Wednesday. Don't forget, Wednesdays and Sundays, we moved it, Ray. Wednesdays and Sundays, live stream. Always good to see you, brother. URAH.
Except for next Sunday.
Oh, crap. Except for next Sunday. My production team. This weekend, we're doing it Saturday. This weekend is Saturday because Sunday's Father's Day. Which, gifts for your fathers. Don't forget, remember we talked about Aerial Resupply Coffee is a great idea. Not affiliated to anyone I'm going to mention right now, but all great veteran-owned businesses that we need to use to support each other. Find their channels, find them on LinkedIn, like and subscribe their stuff. It's free and you get nothing but motivation. Stuff that's made by Americans, for Americans, with American products. Aerial Resupply Coffee. Just got my first bag a while ago. Love it. It was the napalm mix. I don't have it with me right now. Delicious. Nice work. Aerial Resupply Coffee. Again, veteran-owned company for veterans. Max Belts. Waiting on my new Mac belt coming up. Seen the videos, watch him on LinkedIn, been following him. Some high quality belts. Veteran-owned, American-made, American products by American hands. Support these guys. Find the veteran-owned businesses, let us all know, and support each other. Again, find if they got YouTube, find their channel, like and subscribe their stuff. It's free. We're patriots, we're veterans, we're service members. That's what we do, support each other. So if you know of some, and I'll try and watch the comments for a minute, let us know. Shout outs. Support each other. That's what we do. Look at SFMF putting one up right now. Support veteran-owned businesses. So right there is Max Belts. Father's Day's coming up. Again, I'm hoping I get the one I asked for. We'll see. I'll let you know next Wednesday after Father's Day if I get. They got a Patriot belt on there, which on the end is stamped in the leather, an American flag. Love that one. I'm hoping it shows up Sunday.
Keep on talking back.
What? Jared says, Marines have great. Jared, I'm funny. My family thinks so anyway, but Marines do, yes, have a great sense of humor. I don't know why you're saying that. When you're talking about drone instructors, some of the stuff that drone instructors come up with, oh my God. That one short I did, when you see a drone instructor put his head down, all you can see is the campaign cover. It's because he's getting ready to lose his bearing. Marines don't lose their bearing, but something funny happens. Something funny happens in boot camp all day, every day. And most of it is not on purpose. Recruits do the craziest things. They say the craziest things. And some were really funny, and some were, geez, this is so stupid. I mean, you gotta laugh. If not, you're gonna cry or choke the crap out of somebody. But it is definitely funny. John says, we had to drop Cadet Morales down for asking her last question without prefacing it with Sergeant Major. 22, John. Make her do 22. Whatever you made her do, 22. I only type what I can hear. Blame me. Good on you, John. Money. It's accountability. That's what we're missing today. So hold them accountable. There's the production team putting out Era Resupply Coffee. Go support and subscribe. Awesome coffee, awesome company. He's got a great LinkedIn as well. And we get nothing. Again, we're not affiliated to any of these guys. We're just supporters. We know how important it is. It's great to see you as well, Michael's Drones. Another organization support. Go to his channel, like and subscribe to his channel. I had to pick up my own spit at the end. Yes, I might have told a recruiter too to pick that up when they spit on the deck. You don't spit on the deck at Edson Range, anywhere, especially on the parade deck. Yes, you will be not forced, you'll be highly requested to pick that spit up. Yes. How is that possible? Yes, it is. Pick it up. Gian Palacio, I remember my first day in boot camp, they make me the RPCO, and I'm in charge of everyone. They give me, order everyone in bed after taps, coming in from third world country, having a hard life. So you were coming from a third world company, and you're the RPCO. So what branch is that? In the Marine Corps, that would be a guide, the company guide, or the platoon guide. Yes, it's funny and gross. Once you pick up that snot that you just spit on the deck, yes, you will put it in your pocket and save it for later. You throw it away later. Edson Range even worse, because you definitely can pick that up with a whole handful of dirt. On the parade deck, it's a little harder because now you're on concrete or asphalt, but you're picking it up. Arlie Ermin, Full Metal Jacket, pretty much tried to explain the same thing over. Yes. Very accurate. Full Metal Jacket is very accurate on the boot camp part. I know a lot of people only watch the first half, and I can't speak on the Vietnam part, the combat part after, but I got to believe that's pretty accurate as well. It was a very well done movie. There's Max Belts. Check them out. That's Navy, brother. Semper Fi, shipmate. Hurrah. But you're the guide in boot camp. They call it RCPO. You're the guide, foreign country. You just got to take charge. That question came up too. How do you become the guide or squad leader in boot camp? All the stuff we keep telling you in this channel. Be more than ready by the time you get there. Know how to drill. Know your left foot from right foot. Know your facing movements. Be able to stay in step. Know your Marine Corps knowledge. So while that 1 hour of free time in the evenings, you're helping other recruits, right? The DIs will pick up on that. You're already a leader because you've prepared yourself. So now you're helping others. You're doing your push-ups. I'm sure all that, the squad base have pull-up bars in there, do some pull-ups. Get someone who can't do the pull-ups, help them. Be a leader in boot camp. That's how you become the guide or squad leader. And continue to push yourself and others. If you see someone that's struggling, help them out. And the drill instructors will recognize that. Talked about letter writing gear, what you bring to boot camp. I wanted to do another one, another short on mail in boot camp. Nothing better than receiving mail in boot camp. It's amazing. So any family members out there, or tell your family members, write as often as they can. If you could receive mail every single day, that'll help your motivation, help you push to the finish line without a doubt. Don't send no junk, no food, no snacks, nothing but letter mail from everyone in the family, and time it out. So you don't get 10 letters in one day, you get one every day for 10 days. That's how we did it when my daughter was in boot camp. My wife coordinated it all of it. We had letter writing night. We all sit right here at the table, write out a letter and mail them sporadically, so she would get letters hopefully every day. I never even asked her if she got one every day, because you go a day or two without mail, your morale drops significantly. So, and here's the other side. We knew, and I even told my daughter before, look, don't spend your time writing us. Just read our mail, put it away, and then train for the next day. Get ready for the next day. So tell your families, and again, family members listening in, when you do receive a letter from your recruit, love it. Read it a few times, put it up in your refrigerator, and just wait for the next one. Don't write to that saying, could you write me more? Spend more. No, they need to concentrate on what they're doing. So I told my daughter, once a week on Sunday is the most, and she even went 2 weeks every now and then. But that's okay. They need to concentrate on what they're doing there. So a letter home, and we have a big family. We already knew, and I told her, don't write one to each one of us, write one letter to all of us. And I know it's hard, some families don't live all together, but minimal mail received from the families. You want them to receive all the mail. So be patient. Be patient. Let your recruit do what he or she's got to do and concentrate on that, not getting 3 letters. Because here's what ends up happening. They spend their whole hour of free time. They're not ready for the next day. Then they stay up late getting ready for the next day, or vice versa, right? They do what they got to do, and then they stay up late with the moonbeam on under their covers trying to write a letter. Then they get caught, and then they get thrashed. Bad business. Let them concentrate on the mission at hand, and that's being the very best recruit that they possibly can, ever. Get off my soapbox on that. So some, yes, with the drill instructor will make you will write some, because if you don't write any, then we receive the phone calls. I haven't heard from my son in 2 weeks. Is he alive? Yes. So yes, we do. Some we do have to make, because some recruits won't. So yes, there are certain times that you must, just to let everybody know, yes, you're still alive. The drill instructors are thrashing me, but I'm okay. Charles Boyer is asking, speaking of boot camp, what does morning PT look like on a typical day? Is there a set structured workout, or just go until the DI gets tired? There is a set schedule that the drill instructors follow to the minute. So yes, set structured, even what type of physical fitness you'll be doing that day. The schedule is set all 13 weeks of boot camp, from when you wake up to when you go to chow, PT, you do the slide for life, whatever you're doing, it's all written out, and that's why you're in a hurry everywhere, because you have to meet those timelines. When PT, just until the DI gets tired, that's the IT sessions. When he takes you out on the quarter deck and thrashes you, or you fell asleep in class, he takes you outside and thrashes you, or the senior just takes the whole company to the pit, a whole platoon to the pit and thrashes them. Those are different. But your morning PT, to answer your question, morning PT is set. Because you got to get to the next event. That won't change. Again, it's the other times that it is up to the drill instructor. And you will do bends and thrusts until the drill instructor gets tired of doing this right here. Hurrah. That's up to the DI. So try not to piss them off. Yeah, right. What is it? What is after morning PT? Usually chow. It's been a few years since I was a drill instructor, but I remember usually when the PT mornings, you get up, get dressed, get outside, PT. And then you come back to the house, shower and change over, and go to chow. Then again, depending on what phase of training that you're in first phase, a lot of classroom instruction, first aid classes, tons of history classes, customs courtesies, swim qual. Again, I'm trying to remember the whole schedule, but again, everything's set. But PT's first thing. Get up quick, head and water call, get outside for PT. Depending on what it is. If you're doing the obstacle course and confidence course, you'll probably go in boots and utes. If you're going to the pool later, you'll have your swim trunks or your PT gear, shorts underneath your camis. You go from PT, chow, go to the swim qual. Drop your stuff. Depending on what it is, if you're going to the first aid class, you bring your first aid kit. Everything is mapped out. Tight schedule. Very well done. But it's set. And you can even look up the schedule online. That's when my daughter was in boot camp. That's what we did. Looked up the 13 schedule, and it shows you, lays it out, what they're doing every day, when they're going to the swim tank, when they're going to the rifle range, when they're going to field training. It's pretty cool. But it's laid out. Which one? Do they still do first, second, and third class water qualification, WSQ? I think they do. I think the classes, I don't know if it's still 1, 2, and 3. OG, I think they have changed the names of them, but there still is WSQ, MCIWS after boot camp, but they still do the water classifications. I want to say it's 4, 3, 2, 1, 4 being the easiest. But they still do it. 30 minutes to shower and shave. I don't know if you get a full 30 minutes, Michael's Drones. Depends on, again, what's next on the schedule. But the shower and shave in the morning is about that long. Yes, I still do that today. You can ask my wife, Michael's Drones, when I say, all right, I'm gonna get ready for the day, shower and shave. How the older recruits do during boot camp when they're 26 and up. I told you I had, as a drill instructor, I was about 25, 26. I had a 31-year-old recruit. Called him Pops. We all did. He was the oldest recruit I had ever had, and he was the oldest one certainly in our platoon and our whole company. Pops. And back then I thought 31 was old. Now it's not so old. That's still young, still a young pup. But he was 31, and he did well. And we didn't treat him any different because he was 31. We had 17-year-olds. He wasn't the guy. This guy in particular, I do remember, came in with a little bit of an attitude like, I'm older, I should be treated differently. Oh, we treated him a little different. We thrashed him a little more just to let him know everyone's equal right now in recruit training. One, we're all green. You're all the same age. We have one mission for all of you, and that's to make you world's finest United States Marines. Ever. So it did take him a little bit to adjust. Physically, he was fine. He was a little out of shape, I remember, a little chubby. Didn't hold him back at all. He quickly got in shape because of all the special attention that we did give to him. But I don't remember. Usually the older recruits, we expect more out of them because they're a little more mature. That's not always the case. They don't always stand out as the guide and squad leaders. I think, again, as a senior, I would, or as a drill instructor, I'd put them in there first and see how they pan out. And it didn't always. Remember, one of my guides, one cycle, turned 18 like 2 days from graduation. So he was the youngest one in the whole platoon. He was the guide all the way through. Excuse me. Jared said his oldest recruit quit phase 2. He was 28. Wonder if his age had something to do with it. 28 was the max age in 91. I just read something, all the services, the age limits. Man, do I still have that? All the age limits on all the services, and they all start at 17, but 28, I think, was the highest right now. No, the Air Force was like 31 or something. All right, you can look that up online as well. All the age limits for all the branches of service. Ninja. Good question. How do you think your life would have been different if you never served the country? So I was going through the airport one time. I was traveling probably to a conference or a school or something, active duty Marine. I happened to sit next to a guy about my same age, and I'm thinking we were in our 30s or something. I don't remember what rank I was, but had been a Marine for a while and knew it was going to be a career. And we got on that subject. He went to college. He was a businessman. I'm a Marine. And he said at first, sometime through our conversation, like, man, I should have served. I wonder where I'd be right now had I enlisted. Thought about it, but never did it. Really envious of you. Man, what a great life you have. And oh my God, your stories are awesome. Man, I should have done it. And funny, because I was thinking the same thing. Where would I be right now? Again, we're the same age. We just chose two completely different paths. He's successful, businessman, was in a nice suit, making some good money. As I was saying the same thing, man, I wonder where I'd be right now had I not enlisted in the Marine Corps. I could be where you are, going on a business trip. And so to answer your question, I don't know. You never know. I told you, I've said it many times, when I did enlist, I didn't know anything about any of the services. Ended up having an uncle in Vietnam that I didn't know about for years. He had PTSD bad from 3 back-to-back tours to Vietnam. Never talked about it. My parents never talked about it. My dad, his brother, never said anything. My dad did not want me to join any service. It was harder for him to sign than it was my mother. But years later, in fact, when I was in Desert Storm is when my uncle opened up, started talking about it, started writing me letters back and forth. And I have a great relationship with him now. He's still alive. He's very old and he's wheelchair bound by now, but great guy. So going to boot camp, I didn't join in. I didn't know anything about any of it. So what would I be doing otherwise? I don't know. I remember college wasn't on my mind. No one in my family had gone to college. So I'd be working for my family. So where would I be today? Who knows? Frank J says, I always thought there was many ways to serve your nation, most of all being an upstanding citizen, and the military teaches you to be just that. Amen, Frank. Agree 100%. And there is many, many ways, and not just in the services, not just first responders, but if you're a good, upstanding citizen, a patriot, and you support all those people in those professions 100%, everybody's important. If you're an upstanding citizen, that's the key to that, Frank. And what Frank is saying, anyone who joins the military teaches you just that. So that kind of good transition, Frank. Pay you later for that, because that's the other topic that we did want to talk about tonight was how do you choose your MOS, the job that you're going to be when you enlist or go the officer route. Do you want to do a job that's going to set you up for success the rest of your life? And why wouldn't you? A lot of grunts say, oh, I'm infantry, I know how to kill people, know how to go to the field, know how to clean my weapon. The training you get in all the branches of service, in the Marine Corps, the leadership you're exposed to makes you a better person. Individually, everyone takes it differently. We've had someone on here who had very bad leadership. He saw what not to do as a leader, but it's still learning lessons for him. So does it make you more competitive if you join and be if you're really into cooking and you become a cook for the Marine Corps, will that help you in the cook world when you get out? Absolutely. Data, truck drivers, any of the jobs available, and there's tons of them, so make sure you look it up. Because I always say, join the Marine Corps to be a Marine. First and foremost, you're a Marine. Every Marine a rifleman. Marine first. Mission first. All that is very, very true. But do you want to have done something for 24 years or 30 years, something that you're going to want to do once you retire or get out? 100%, absolutely. Make them coincide the best you can. But that doesn't mean you can't do something completely different. I was a combat engineer for the first half of my career, construction, expedition type construction, vertical construction, destruction. Some good stuff as an engineer. Loved it. I do none of that today. But I think I'm still pretty successful in the things I do because of what I learned from being a Marine. So it's going to set you up for success no matter what. I'm terrible with construction around the house. You can ask my wife. I can fix things with duct tape and a big hammer. But the things I learned as a combat engineer, measuring, what I got to measure? I'm just going to cut it and make it fit. So all that, all the schooling I went to for combat engineers, maybe I was an okay engineer, but has nothing to do with what I do now. The leadership, the responsibility, the discipline, everything I learned as a Marine 100% translates into the civilian sector, 100%. So don't get wrapped around the axle about making sure that you have to do an MOS that you're going to do once you get out. Because you could change your mind too. What if you are in the trucks, in the vehicles, you're a truck driver, you love it, driving the big MRAPs and Buffaloes and all that stuff, and you the best driver and mechanic in the world, you get out and do something completely different because something else sparks your interest. So don't get too tied up on what I have to do, have to mean communication, because that's what I want to do when I get out. You're 17. That may change. You never know. And while you're in, somebody else asked about lat move, a lateral move from one MOS to the other. Yes, it's possible. It happens. It can be pretty tough because the MOS you're in has to release you. If you're a truck driver and you want to go to admin, for instance, you don't like being a truck driver anymore, motor T, you want to go to admin, well, your MOS, your motor T MOS has to release you, and the admin field has to need you. Needs of the Corps. And again, it does happen at re-enlistment as your time to make that lateral move. So you find out, does the administration MOS need a sergeant E5 for 8 years, whatever it is, whatever your situation is, and that's the opportunity for your lateral move into a different MOS. Again, research. Do your research, do your homework, find out when and if you can. Noah's a 0331 era, and now an electrician. So how'd you do it, Noah? Did you, on re-enlistment, did you make that lateral move? Or was it during your contract? Here we go. E. Rodriguez, what would your best advice be for a 26-year-old recruit? We just talked about it, but go for it. Use your life experience as a 26-year-old in a platoon full of 17, 18, and 19-year-olds. Use that maturity to take care of everyone. Be the adult in the room. Gather them up. Lead them. Use your experience, 100%. I think that's great. Again, as a drill instructor, I liked seeing those older recruits to set the example. You got life lessons that these kids don't have. So go for it, brother. You got it. 26-year-old should be the guy. Should be company honor graduate. There you go. Hear him. That's some good stuff. I would want to watch that. How to modify a vice grip, more accurate and safer threading of bolts and taps. And it just disappeared. That handyman stuff. Finished, Noah. Shipping in August. Era. E. Rodriguez. All right, brother. Go for it. What coast? PI San Diego. Which one you going to? And what made you join at 26? What have you been doing? Any school, any college? You realize it's a crazy world? John McJunkin. I remember my mom and dad crying when I left for boot camp. I asked them why. They said they never thought I'd ever leave. So they're ready to get rid of you. My mom and dad, sisters, brothers, everyone there, when I left at 3 in the morning, when the recruiter came pick me up, they were crying, they were mad. They were mad at the recruiter for taking me away. Oh man, Jake. All right, that's why I take that time, brother. Take that time to be off the brains. Good luck, man. I'm sorry to hear that, but hang tough. Do what you got to do so you can be free and clear of meds so you can go. Jared, good advice, brother. Rodriguez said, make sure you say hello to the DIs from the fellas. Then what's up? As soon as you walk in, just give them a shaka. They like that too. What's up, DIs? They really like that. And then let us know how that went. But good on you. Rodriguez, get some. Jake, hang tough. Stay with us. Keep us posted, Jake. We definitely want to follow and see it through.
Oh, can you talk about what state you enlisted? Because Texas is amazing for people.
Yes, I will. Okay, just got from my production team. What state did you enlist from? Yeah, where's everyone from? What state did they come from when they enlisted? Remember, as a drill instructor, again, most of my platoon always seemed, the most Marines I ever met, the state that they're from, mostly, from what I can recall, Texas, the great state of Texas. A lot of Marines out of Texas, probably because it's so gigantic. California, a little bit, Florida, those states seem to come to mind, but by all means, Texas. Is that what you mean?
Oh.
The benefits, sometimes I can't read her lips. The benefits you receive depend on the state that you enlist from. Oh, that's what she's getting at. I got it. It took me a minute. So I did enlist out of California was my home of record. That's where I enlisted from. Look at, we got Ohio, Hawaii, USMC Cece, New York, Arizona. So the benefits, according to the state that you enlist from, your home of record. What I've learned now, later on, and that's why we do this, building this community to get the word out, Texas has the best benefits for veterans, and their families, as long as that's your home of record. So I'm a California state guy, and that's my home of record. The benefits for me aren't as great from California as they would have been had I enlisted out of Texas. Now, not that easy, I guess, probably just to move to Texas just to enlist. But if you can get your home of record for patriotic states like Texas, by all means, go for it. We are learning now. My kids, how do my kids benefit from my time in the service? Again, not so much in California, but Texas. What are some other great states? Florida. Where else?
Nevada.
Tax bracket matters too for state taxes in Texas. Rodriguez, I'm from Texas. My recruiter said if I ever felt overwhelmed during boot camp, just ask the DIs to take me to the quarterdeck. That'll do it. That's great advice too, Rodriguez. If you're ever feeling it, just say, hey, DI, feeling a little overwhelmed right now. Can we go to the quarterdeck and talk about it? It's going to do you well as well. And just know, Rodriguez, your DIs are going to be about the same age as you, right? Don't take that personally. That's what, when I told you, when I had Pops in my platoon, I reminded him every day that he was older than, I was younger than him. I didn't say he was older than me. I said, I'm younger than you. Now push. So be open-minded. It's like a safe space. Yes, Noah, that's right. The quarterdeck is a safe space for you to discuss your feelings. Let them know. Virginia Beach was a home record. Good benefits there? Pendragon? Or for the Marines? Pendragon, you got all kinds of knowledge and information. Stress cards? Was that ever really a thing? I hear a lot of rumors about the stress card. People, you know, how people love to dog the Marine Corps. Non-Marines like to dog the Marine Corps if they get a chance. And so I heard we had stress cards. You're feeling overwhelmed with stress, you just pull out your little card and say, I need a break. I think they did do a test pilot of something similar to that, but not true. Fernando M., would you recommend a 25-year-old go to the Marine Corps? I'd be a private at 26 years old once I graduated. Yes, 100%. We already have one, a 26-year-old recruit getting ready to go. So 100%, I do recommend it. Again, you're ahead of the game already. Feel like you're behind because you're dealing with and working every day with these kids. It's going to feel like as a 26-year-old with 17 and 18-year-old kids, teenagers. But once you all get to boot camp, you're all going to be trained exactly the same. And yes, I do highly recommend you join at 25, a 26-year-old private era. So only difference is you'll be 46 if you do 20 years. Still young. So yes, 100%. Virginia waives the car tax. Good. Good to hear. I'd love to hear other states doing that as well. Age to a point is a state of mind. That's right. I'm with you, Jared. Michael Jones says, when I went to the Marine Corps in 75, my drill instructors and lieutenants served in Vietnam, and they were rough on us, but nothing I couldn't handle. Hardcore Marine Corps. Again, different time. Different time. I think they were harder back then. Very few Vietnam veterans by the time I was in. They were all few. Remember one Gunny. I'll never forget this guy. I talked about him before. He's the one that bought a property every duty station that he went to. E. Rodriguez says, do I recommend active duty or reserves? Fernando says, thanks for the advice. Been running 5 miles 4 days a week, getting ready. Get after it, Fernando. Look at you and Rodriguez, 2 old guys going to boot camp. So discuss it. Active duty or reserves? E. Rodriguez, I talked about it early on. 100% active duty. Yes, I'm biased. I had no regrets. 100% active duty. Reserves, if you're not going to go active duty. That's my recommendation. But go for it. Go all in. And then decide after your first enlistment 4 years, is this for you, or you can transfer from active duty to reserves. Just be very, very careful with that, because it's harder to get back to active duty if you want to do that. So base that decision off your experience in that 4 years. 100%. Gabriel says, I'm skinny and prepping though. Eat up, Gabriel. Here's some advice. When I was trying to gain weight, had a trainer, you got to eat. Just keep eating. But don't eat until you're full. You got to eat until you're uncomfortably full, like Thanksgiving. My trainer was a Japanese guy in Japan when he was training me. You Americans, you don't eat enough. I thought I was. He said, like Thanksgiving, when you're at Thanksgiving and you've had seconds already and seconds of dessert, undo that top button of your trousers. If you're wearing a belt, take that baby off a long time ago, put on some sweats. That's the kind of full that you need to be if you're trying to gain weight. Uncomfortably full. Gain that weight. In boot camp, you're going to be a double rat recruit. You're going to get double rations every time you go to the chow hall until you make weight. So get uncomfortably full, gain that weight, continue to work out. Don't get fat and lazy, but continue to work out. All the old schoolers. Michael's Drones, Iron Mike, Chesty Puller, Dan Daly, Smedley Butler. Knowledge. Those of you getting ready to go, especially you old timers, you should have you've been out of school for a while. So bone up on your Marine Corps history. That's all, just as much part of everything else as PT, rifle range, swim qual, drill, inspections. You have to know your knowledge, Marine Corps knowledge, military history. You've been out of the classroom for a while, so you're going to be right back in the classroom. You need to pay attention, take notes, whatever you need to do to study. Jalen Clapton, welcome. Did you hear about the pilot program for the Marine Corps enlisted go E1 to E7 after they pass the schoolhouse but catch no promotion? Yes, we talked about it in length the last live, and still it was officially announced. I just saw it on Marine Corps Knowledge. Talk about it again. It's a hot topic right now, and mixed.
Promoted to master and they just can't go to first sergeant.
That's correct. So those guys, those you don't know, MCTAP is the name of the program, Marine Corps Talent Acquisition Pilot Program, MCTAP. I mean, it's to enhance our cyber capabilities, cyber service, cyber security, all of our cyber network capabilities. And again, my thoughts, if it's needed, definitely let's enhance it for mission accomplishment. So 100%, I'm all about it. However, making those guys, because those are, again, prior service, any service, or college graduates, that once they do go through boot camp, if they're not Marines, they do have to go through boot camp and some follow-on training after that. And I'm hoping an intense evaluation system will depend on their rank. But it can be up to gunnery sergeant. Now, how do I feel about that? I don't like it because of what it takes to become a gunnery sergeant, 12 plus years depending. Excuse me. And the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into earning that rank of gunnery sergeant. People say, well, they've done it in the band, and that's how the president's own. The difference is, again, they're nowhere in the chain of command in the band. They're not in charge of junior Marines. They don't answer to senior Marines. They're in the band. That's what they do. Should these guys be, again, automatically given a uniform? Well, yes, because they earned the title through boot camp. Absolutely. But the stuff it takes, the time and grade, time and service, the level of experience that the gunnery sergeants have, that takes time. So that's the part that is still not happy about it. And currently, that's who I said, who was on that board that decided that? That happens a lot of time in the civilian community, I'm learning, planning in a box. Did they get people that it's going to directly affect? Staff Sergeant below in the cyber university right now. How is it going to affect them? And all those staff sergeants who are right now waiting to obtain the rank of gunnery sergeant have done everything in their power to be prepared for it. And all of a sudden, this college student comes out, he met a couple of requirements, and now he's a gunnery sergeant, just took away that gunny's spot. So, contractors, Anderson. That's my thought process, 100%. Yes, we need those guys and girls, women and men in our cybersecurity system. All about it. Get them in there. Make us competitive. Make us stronger in those areas. 100%. Call them contractors. Make up a rank for them. Technical sergeant, cyber sergeant, whatever you want to call it. They don't need to be Marine gunnery sergeants. Talked about this. A lot of people said warrant officers. I think whoever said that, there's a lot more to being a warrant officer than you're not enlisted, you're not officer. So yes, they are technical experts, but they went through all the blood, sweat, and tears to obtain the rank of warrant officer. So I don't think that should be handed either. So I think it should be, again, a different rank, or the good old-fashioned, tried and true, works 100% well. I've worked with many contractors. All my deployments, there's a contractor for something, whether it be on the battlefield, doing some site survey, doing some recon stuff, or in the chow halls. Drivers, bus drivers, anywhere in the combat zone, there was contractors everywhere. Why can't those people be contractors? So interesting. It is a 2-year pilot program, so we'll see. Roland, Kunanen. I'm an officer candidate. Everyone I speak to question my ambitions and say, join the Air Force due to quality of life. Any thoughts? Yes. Roland, you're an officer candidate for the Marine Corps? Are you in ROTC? What program are you in, Roland? And everyone says to join the Air Force due to quality of life. Yes, the Air Force has a better quality of life. Facts. That's on you, depending on what you want to do. Quality of life, here's how they have a better quality of life, from what I know, especially as an enlisted Marine my whole life. Their barracks are nicer. They have more money to spend on dorms. Right? I went to the Air Force Academy. My room, I had my own room. Everyone has their own room. And they had maids that cleaned it. The common area, I remember the common area was cleaned by maids, and it was furnished with TVs and pool tables and big screens. This one, VHS, was very popular. They had over 500 VHS tapes that we could choose from. They had a kitchen in there, a little bowl of candy when you came in. Those are the quality of life things that I recognize that the Air Force has. Their clubs are better. They have more money to spend on those things. Is that why you're joining the service? For that particular quality of life. The Marine Corps doesn't do all that for you. The Marine Corps has a completely different mission. So it's what mission you have in the back of your head. What do you envision as serving your country? All branches of service, yes, I dog on all of them. They make it easy, right? I joined the Marine Corps so I can talk trash the rest of my life. Every branch of service is important. Our whole joint services operations is what makes us so successful. But it's what you want to do as an individual. Do you want the easy life? You're still going to get the training, the education, the leadership, the responsibility, the discipline in all the branches, but it's a completely different mindset. So it's what you want to do. Air conditioning and carpet for the chow hall. Here's a story for you. While I was going through that Air Force Academy, the Marines came and visited. My chain of command came to visit me. And while we were there, the Sergeant Major commented on the Air Force Academies. It was a beautiful academy. Everything was carpeted. And I remember my Sergeant Major at the time said, wow, that's nice carpet. How do you keep it so clean? He's like, wow, it's, we get a steam clean, whatever, every 6 months. He said, but this one's old and nasty. We're getting ready to get rid of it. So I made sure you're getting rid of it. He's like, yeah, we've had it for 2 years. It's old. My Sergeant Major, being a good Sergeant Major, said, what are you going to do with it? He said, we're going to throw it away. He said, no. We'll take it. The Marines will take it. There's a number of places I can put your old carpet. The Air Force guy was like, really? Well, we have some old monitors, some old desks. We have some old podiums. It's all old crap that we've had for like 2 years, so we're replacing it with all new stuff. Do you want all that? Sergeant Major said, excuse me 1 second, I'm making a phone call. I'm going to start sending 7 tons over. We'll take whatever you don't want, and we'll put in our academy. So that's the difference between the two. Depending on the quality of life that you want to have. Different missions. John says, that was my suggestion to the Commandant of the Marine Corps that got me written up for on why Marines can't have maid services in boot camp. The drill instructors were not happy. It's a legitimate question. Even for the longest time, I know we did our own laundry in boot camp. Frank J. caught my attention. Air Force doesn't have those beautiful dress blues uniform. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about joining the Air Force. Forget about the Marine dress blue. It made me lose my train of thought. Hand-me-downs would have been better than half the junk we had in the Marine Corps. It really is. Again, and as an infantryman, I always fought about the barracks that we lived in. But as infantry, you don't live in the barracks that long. You stay there for a couple weeks, a couple months at a time, and then you're deployed again. Chicken has arisen. Coronado had the best chow hall. went through Coxswain course and was in heaven until I ate at the Kadena Air Force Base Chow Hall in Okinawa. It's not called a Chow Hall chicken, it's a dining facility. More like a restaurant. So yes, their dining facilities are even nicer than Marine Corps. I got to tell you, I can't complain about, I've never had a bad experience at any chow halls throughout the Marine Corps. Yes, the dining facility experience at the Air Force is different. I think they even come pick up your trays once you're done. You don't have to take it to the galley yourself. So it's quite different. Jake, you're doing it now, brother. What can you do for your country? Support. Until you're free and clear and you make it in one of the branches of service, brother, continue to support. Stay with us here. Stay on the channel. Do what you can. Support all those other veteran-owned businesses that we keep talking about. Aero Resupply, Max Belts, anyone else you know, Michael's Drones, all those guys, men and women that serve their country, that are now starting their own business, small, veteran-owned businesses, do what you can. Continue to serve, continue to help. Find some organizations around your area, the VFW, all the leagues that veterans go to. Veterans are getting older. We're losing our World War II veterans. There's not that many left. I have a feeling Vietnam veterans too, again, I mean, do the math. They're all getting old. So do what you can to continue to support, Jake. And we're here with you as well. Brother, again, keep us posted. Carl Green, good to see you, brother. SOS was my favorite. Yes, stuff on a shingle. That's old school. Randy Hodder, I love the Marine Corps chow halls too. Good chow on ships. I'm telling you, I'm French Creek Chow Hall, Camp Lejeune. Does Coronado still segregate Navy side from Marine Corps side? I'm not sure. Sounds about right. Salad bars. Hawaii, Marine Corps Base Hawaii, I know they had an award-winning chow hall for years and years in a row. I don't know how many years in a row, but award-winning chow halls. I'm telling you, you got to give it up to the messmen, the cooks, the field food service industry, and all the branches of service. You're cooking for hundreds of thousands of ungrateful people, and you do it every day. The hours they work are incredible. I was on mess duty a couple different times, so I know what goes into it. I've seen them, and I have not a single complaint. Are there times at the end of the fiscal year, maybe you're eating some ham slices because they're clearing out the freezers? Sure, but they're still cooking for hundreds of thousands of people every single day, 3 meals a day, sometimes 4. Those places that have mid-rats. So go ahead and complain. Complain about the chow. See what kind of chow you get. Chicken Shack guy. I enjoyed mess duty. Randy Hodder, I got it. One time I got extended because I enjoyed it too much. Chickpeas, Chicken Shack was awesome. I love the drive-through. There is even, I didn't know they had drive-throughs, but I know they have walk-up windows on some bases now, so Marines can get chow after PT. Can't go in the chow hall on PT gear, so they have walk-up windows. You know, whatever it takes to fuel your bodies. Carl, you never had mess duty? It's not too late. Get you on mess duty. Had a couple different occasions. Mid-rats. Mid-rats on ship is what I know mid-rats from. But even in some of my deployments, you happen to make it back at one of the patrol bases or the camps, the big camp Leatherneck and all those big camps, they do have mid-rats because patrols going in and out all kinds of types of hours. So it definitely is, mid-rats are good. Carl, man, you're lucky we weren't active duty. I'd have put you on mess duty 2 times. Just kidding. Reverse cycle rats, what is that? How about early chow? You know, boot camp, recruits love early chow. Early chow or late chow. Because you're in there before the chaos starts or after the chaos is done. I know we talked about this before. Chow hall, going to meals is different in the Marine Corps and boot camp anyway. Now, it used to be a thrash session. when I was a recruit. Even by the time I became a drill instructor, we had to tone it down quite a bit. There used to be food flying all over the place. Recruits are trying to eat and get the hell out of there. Spend about 3 or 4 minutes in and out. Guys, done, you're done, get out. I don't think we are nourishing our bodies enough. And somebody put the kibosh on that, and now it's you have time to eat your meal, stress-free, if you will. But drill instructors are still watching. They're going to wait till you get outside. Remember, in I saw you looking at that. So it's different. Mess hall is different now. You got to fuel your body safely. When I was on ABC, we worked third shift, 90 days at a time. I was a scribe, so I always went to early chow. Chicken, you were a scribe? Scribe gets over. Go to early chow, get to take your time, and get a little extra juice if you want. No stress. No one yelling at you. No one hurrying up. Guys, done, you're done. Chocolate milk. Justin, yes. Who had to walk around with their cup, hand over cup? Live grenade. You had to walk around so you wouldn't spill it, nobody bump into you. Brown cow was chocolate milk. White cow, do we call that white cow? Brown cow was chocolate milk. Dead brown cow. They had to refill the chocolate milk. John says, you're right about the Marine Corps base. Why have a near 5-star restaurant food? I'm telling you, year after year, and I was even fortunate enough one time to be one of the critics. They did a competition for the cooks there on Marine Corps Base Hawaii at the dining facility there. And I was able to be one of the judges. That was awesome. And it was 5-star quality type meals that we got to vote on. I'm a terrible judge because I loved them all. I don't know how I picked who won because I loved it all. Live grenade. Jerry, do you remember that? Gangway, live grenade. How about the, are you trying to get my attention? Target, deck private target. Who remembers what that is? Deck private target? What happened when you did that? Did I used to wrestle? Yes, of course I wrestled in Hawaii, or in high school. First year, hated it. Wanted to fight the guy because he wrapped me up in something I didn't know how to do. So I stuck with football. I'm going to airborne. Nice, airborne. Is the risk of injury worth dwelling about? Am I just you're overthinking it, Gabriel? Go for it. One thing Marines don't get a lot of opportunity to go airborne, so you're obviously Army. Go for it. If I ever had the chance, and I put my hand up for airborne school all the time, and some of our recon Marines, some EOD Marines, very few Marines get that opportunity to jump. So if you can go airborne, by all means, go for it. Again, one thing I wish the Marine Corps would have done, I'm going to jump out of a plane one of these before I die on my bucket list, but we don't fight like that anymore. You're not going to use it for combat. Now it's a cool factor, so you can get your jump wings. But definitely, highly recommend it. Overthinking it, go for it. NAS ADAC Alaska had decent chow considering everything came in frozen. ADAC Alaska, Bryce Wilborg, taking your Sally gloves off. Okay, who remembers it? Deck private target. What did that mean in boot camp? At the chow hall. Deck private target. Get some, Gabriel. Enjoy it. You'll love it. Deck private target. Give it a minute or two, and then we're moving on. Again, support our small businesses, support each other, stay on the channel, love this community. You guys are awesome. We do have to go pick up our kid, yes. So appreciate you guys. This was a great Wednesday live. Remember, Saturday this weekend, Saturday, same time, production team, same time. 1900, Saturday, no Sunday. Remember Father's Day. Those of you fathers still around, honor them. Go to some of those small businesses we talked about. Remember, we're not affiliated to them. We just love to support them. Semper Fi to you all. God bless, and we'll see you Saturday. Hurrah!